I am merely a man and a nobody to you. If we were to engage in a conversation and I allowed you to explore my concepts and state of thought, you would only find that I have entreated you to madness and chaos, and though I tell you it is sure wisdom and great counsel, for that which you perceive about me you would surely say I were insane, because I can fathom omnipotence achieved and hold the desire for a greater thing than any one man could ever envision another man with, supremacy and ultimate power, to be the keeper of man's key to a possible equality, to rule as man was created to do, and to surpass all that have the opposing idea of oppression. I am only the same as those that have set themselves high above the rest, and I comprehend why desire and ambition beget damnation, but yet I am indifference by my true seeking of the deification of mankind and the belief in the ability to make man greater than any, at a higher place than he could ever be. I believe in the day to come when we find ourselves truly lifting the veil set upon man, and to every man that is worthy and seeks dominion, I seek to uplift him if he will embrace deification. Society is structured upon the allowances and ideals of the governing powers. Belief heavily dissuades truth and evidence, and the masses have succumbed to the acceptance of order and lives based upon the concepts permitted and provided for, following with instruction through the method of education as to how to behave and submit to the authority of the Most High, misleading with improper information and upheld by manipulation and trickery. Contrary to belief, all men are capable, all men are qualified, because all men, though not created equally, are useful. But if he cannot discover the benefit of himself, he faces a path of duality called good or bad, if anything can be called such, but nevertheless whatever he becomes, if he applies himself he shall discover his fullest potential within his place. How can he be faulted for the acceptance of the extensions of his opportunities when all other society has failed to witness his greatness? He is only faulted by the performance of that which is unjustifiably and unrighteously evil. Many have claimed to have lifted the veil upon man while blinding the sight of his eyes with distractions to fill his mind under the illusion that he has been redeemed, but yet no man has been allowed to rise beyond the limitations of his structures. Those who seek to tame that which is unconquerable, if his desire and beliefs become aligned and unified for his well-being, in his own favor, without treason or malice. Embrace these words, indulge my offerings. Receive absolution. Join me in a new world with unified minds aligned in oneness, gathering to move in unison and orchestrate the way of a better future for the masses, where poverty is eradicated and oppression is diminished under the rule of a true world governance for the betterment and greater good of all mankind. A people free from the limitations of the world, belief, religion, and law. We shall remold all that has been known and reshape the way in which this world is received. We shall uplift the downtrodden and reveal the truth of all things said unknown. Join this quest to free society and awaken the world. By diverse practices we shall initiate the world into a new order and guide the few, which are many, into a path of deification and the ascension into the counsel of God. We shall, together, be the new way to salvation, and in the faithless we shall incite spiritual resurrection and life, and make man the greater that he seeks to be. This is the path of the mighty. Together we shall break the seal and the veil shall be lifted. We shall rise into eternal glory and grace when we have been left in the midst of hell and made home, and shall gain salvation above damnation and proclaim our new dominion. Absolution rests in our arms, if we may only embrace one another. Let us fulfill the birthing of a world order and overthrow the rule of supremacy under this umbrella of truth and revelation. The day has dawned to engage battle with false gods and dethrone the authority which has shadowed the world with darkness cast in chaos and confusion. This is the establishment of a kingdom to house the widows and the orphans, the bastard children outcast by society, and those who seek freedom from religion and broken law, in a world lost with dismantled structure and foundations broken to soon crumble that which stands, and under its shelter has left the world in ruins. Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free, the wretched refuse of your teeming shore. Our purpose is promoting the practice of the unification of worthy and qualified men and women, guided towards a new world in allegiance of brotherhood and sisterhood in the pursuit of universal happiness, aiming to promote the well-being of every individual man and woman under the umbrella of this standing, ever in the seeking of free men and the belief of freedom. Free thinking, political, religious, and philosophical, desiring to remold the structure of order and world governance in privacy and upon public display. A prestigious organization imparted by religious beliefs, religion and practice, fraternity, family, organization, and social orders. Orchestrated in and by classes, separated by distinguished proficiency by grades of excellence and proper educational fulfillment and performance within each. Accepting the proving and committed, willing to be initiated and or inducted based upon circumstances. Striving to always establish, blossom, and flourish in the hearts and minds of mankind's people. No man sees his perfection, but open yourself to these words just as I open this door unto you. and see the reflection of an immaculate production awaiting your allegiance, that you may embrace your completion and find sight in the beauty in each and every one of you. This is perfection that will not be denied. Through acceptance you shall acquire a new sight, a new mind, and be made in a new form. Do away with the abomination that is called truth by those who see themselves as your masters and the atrocious ways they have led the people into the following of. Discard the ways of old that has kept man as child, and in return receive the consequences and reprimanding at the same hands that filled you with such actions of error. Thy kingdom come, under this covering we shall find shelter, and it shall be home to a new reign, a new civilization, a new people, a new way. Join and unite to receive this education of omnipotence in oneness, and as we divide, in our divisions, conquer. Never should I deny God or the potential existence of such omnipotence, as I believe. To deny a living God is the equal of the simultaneous denial of self for those of us that believe in deification and the ascension to deity as living beings that often pass, to transcend that which we are, and to become the masters of will and our fate, in this life or the hereafter. To incite rebellion against the God of beliefs is to teach the defiance of self, for any that shall rise in dominion, as I also believe, we all often desire to do in the depths of our souls, covered and buried by hidden truths. However, the defiance of that which man holds as the Most High, I am an avid practitioner of defiance of such circumstances, with that which it is, being the embodiment of oppression and submission to subjugation. But it is a bind to detest even that nature of man, for in pursuit of our ambitions we can become one with those standing in supremacy and the rule over mankind, for we are all the same. However, we are simply in opposition of the authority of another, for no man desires to be the lesser of his counterpart and neither serve anything greater than self. I ponder often the highness of governance and how all things have been structured and come to be under the rule of those that we appoint as the faces of our powers, though they, themselves, too answer to a superior authority that binds man and God as one in mystery and secrecy among unknown truths. Nevertheless, the God which we have been taught to serve represents the order of all things and is as told, is the Word. It is the Word under which all believers, a great majority of the masses, shall and have fallen under the servitude of in the indoctrination of obedience and inferiority to a supreme deity upheld by faith rather than evidence and proof. Under God is the structure of order that is governed by the law of the land, supported by the law of God, to obey the laws of the land and man. The Word being with God and being God, represents the fold in which the total elaboration of all things of establishment and secrecy are held, and as a union, is the way in which all things are to be maintained as God is represented as the Most High, that which is in, and simultaneously beyond the grasp of man, easily evading and maintaining due to its preservation of such secrecy as to who is the true Most High or Lord, which is but merely a title of authority is often placed upon kings when acknowledged by his subjects. With the systems of operation being an overseer of society, society is segmented into a separate system in which is uneducated of truth, as it is the attainment of knowledge which made man like unto God. It is wisdom that God contests and fools despise. Be released from the bondage of ignorance and let thy soul be relieved of starvation, and enter into the open doors of the temple which is the body of us and the open minds of a plentiful harvest, and eat from the tree of knowledge which is the tree of this illuminated family, and be filled with enlightenment and comprehend well why light is life, and know that the tree of life shall never wither. Extend your hand to eternity and find the meaning of immortality. Do you believe truly in the God you serve? If so, how can you deny the existence of what I tell you awaits? Thou shalt not serve two masters. Why serve any? Become one, and you shall better serve yourself as you partake in this fruit of knowledge which shall be served to you in the service of righteousness. May thy reaping be in abundance.